What's up, internet? My name's Ori. It is Friday, September 26th, day number 81 inside the Big Brother house. It's the final three. Ashley, Morgan, Vince. One of them will be the winner of Big Brother 27. We had an HoH Part 1 competition last night. Who won, setting themselves up to play in Part 3. The losers will play in Part 2. And the winner of Part 3 will move on to be the one who gets to pick who sits next to them in those final two chairs. The finale is this Sunday. We're going to go over jury scenarios and everything that happened on the live feeds. Let's talk about that, plus all the intel, drama, and more from yesterday's live feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button if you like this video. Hit that sub button. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video, you'll never miss a stream. I'm all over the place with everything going on today. Thank you guys all so much for joining me here. We've got a lot to go over, from the episode last night to everything going on. Thank you guys all so much. If you are new here, though, what we do on Fridays, you get the same update you normally do, but we jump into the chat afterwards, and it's a whole lot of fun. We got people coming on in already. Shelby coming on in with the $2 super chat. Good morning, Ori. Thank you for the season. Thank you, Shelby, for your support. You guys can see the chat down there. You guys can feel free to chat amongst yourselves as I kind of give you guys a rundown of what went on yesterday on the feeds and everything you missed out on. A little bit of a recap for you, though. If you haven't been keeping up with everything going on, Morgan won the final four HoH, and she nominated Ava and Ashley. Nominations, though, really don't matter. They all come down to the veto, and who would end up winning that. They get the choice on who gets the sole vote on deciding who goes to the final three. Morgan wins again, though. It's complete domination at this point, as she is winning competition after competition, and she ended up choosing to not use the veto. At least that's where it was leaning before we headed into the episode. But before we get into what happened on the episode, there were a little bit of pre-show feeds we need to discuss. Who's that coming on in? Dominique coming on in, hitting that sub button. Listen, Dominique, you might not know this. Me and you, we now have a secret alliance. Shh, don't tell anybody, but we're going to the end. Me and you, we're going to the final two. Shh. The secret, though. Don't tell anybody. If you hear anything about other alliances, though, it's not true. Me and you. We're on to the end. Thank you so much for hitting that sub button. So, before we get into the episode, before on the feeds, the pre-show feeds, there was a little bit of interesting stuff going on, because we had Vince talking to Ava, and he pretty much let her know. He's like, listen, Morgan's told me she's not using this thing. I feel like you have a better shot at beating me in the final two, so I'm going to have to send you out of the game. She was like, okay, cool, sounds good to me, understood, and walks out, and she starts storming around the house. She was stomping. She was stomping around the house. She was like, all right, if this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with a bang. I'm going to go out with a bang. She goes and she tells Ashley, she's like, listen, because here's the thing, Ashley, like, everybody's, like, getting ready for the show. Like, they're fully, like, getting dressed. Ashley's basically in her bra and, like, half of her dress. Like, the dress is, like, around her waist. She's, like, trying to tie it up around her neck. And Ava comes on over and she's like, Ashley, get dressed, because I'm about to make some TV. I'm calling a house meeting. If I'm going out with a bang. And Ashley's like, wait, what's going to happen now? Okay. She's like, I'm just giving you a warning. 5 minutes. I'm calling a house meeting. And it was like, oh, okay. So this is going to happen now. So Ashley's like quickly throwing on some jeans and stuff just to be like ready for this, so she's not caught like half dressed here. And she's like, all right, let me hurry up and get ready. And Ava's like, kind of telling her everything that she's going to say. She's like, yeah, I'm going to expose Vince Morgan, everything he's been saying, you know, and I'm going to be saying, like, listen, if I'm going to be sent out of this house because people don't want to keep me in, because I tell too many truths, well, guess what? I'm going to drop a few truth bombs. I'm going to let everybody know before I leave. And she says, I'm going to say this house is so full of bullshit that it's more full of bullshit than Riley's rodeos. Vince, you should know because you voted him out. And she says, I'm going to drop so many truths. I'm going to make his head spin. She says, word to the wise, Morgan, don't do it for a man. Don't do for a man what he wouldn't do for you. I know I wouldn't. And she also promised that she would keep Ashley out of it. Feeds cut, though, before this could actually take place. We didn't know if she actually went through with this. We didn't know if she, held off or what happened. Was this going to be something that could potentially change how the veto ceremony was going to go and everything in between? We weren't sure. And it takes us to the episode. And the show had a lot to cover. They still had the HoH competition and the veto. Of course, there was lots of filler, as always. Eventually, though, we did get to the veto meeting where Morgan did not use the veto, leaving Vince as that sole vote. Vince then went and evicted Ava, leaving Ashley, Morgan, and Vince as our final three. On her speech, actually, one thing that Ava did say was, "Vince, don't contact me after this." And he did evict her. And then afterwards, when she was talking to Julie, she was like, I'm just messing with him. Not a big deal. But like I said, that leaves us with our final three of Ashley, Morgan, and Vince. 3 of the 5 judges making the final 3. We also got some clips from the house of them kind of just talking afterwards during Ava's interview. It was one of those things where there was a little bit of a leakage, right? So a little bit of a tidbit that I had given you guys was that there was this text message that had come about. Morgan had told Vince that, she had gotten some kind of text message that made her think that Ava was the accomplice in some way. And she said she would, elaborate on that further. Well, she decided to do this right as the cameras on the live episodes are on her. She goes, yeah, I got a text before the season about this girl named Ava who's supposed to be a casting alternate. This is just like, I think we're on national television right now. And Morgan's like, so anyway, final 3. They popped some champagne, and Vince talked about how, it's a good thing no one in jury is bitter at him. Oh, man, and I lost, and I've already lost the game. Congratulations, everybody. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out with that. We did get Ava having her interview with Julie, though. The only thing that was really kind of interesting was she did seem a little bit shocked that Will was in the judges. So I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out when she gets to jury. Other things to kind of go over, though. Julie talked about how there was going to be the jury segment on tonight's episode, which tonight will be memory lane, kind of the final 3. We'll talk about moments from the season. They'll have dinner. I guess we'll get a look into the jury where Keanu will be showing on up to it. And then we will have, just the start of the final 3. HoH part 1 will be on tonight's episode as well. Now, back to the feeds, because the feeds did come back last night very late. But when they did, we had some news, because part 1 of the HoH had taken place. It was an endurance comp. It involved a lot of spinning as well, which definitely was hard for some of the contestants to deal with. But the winner of part 1 of the HoH was Morgan. She continues her dominance in these competitions, coming away with the win. Like I said, the competition involves some spinning, and apparently Vince could not deal with it very well. He did apparently still last longer than Ashley, though. Morgan said, hey, at least you lasted longer than Ashley. And he was like, yeah, I just kind of went until my body gave up. When the feeds did come back, though, we actually got Ashley and Morgan who were chatting. We weren't 100% sure, actually, who won right away. But they were talking about the whole Vince and Morgan situation and whether or not they're a showmance, how the whole house kind of saw the dynamics, and Morgan denies it, and she, says we're just good friends. And, they talk about how Kelly said that they were a showmance, and Ashley said, everyone in the house thought it. So, at various points, people were really thinking this was a thing. And Morgan's like, no, he's been in a 7-year relationship. We're just game partners and best friends. Like, that is all. And, she doesn't care, right? She doesn't care what any other public perceptions are going to be, right? She doesn't mind that. Because, again, they're just friends. And Ashley actually told Morgan, she said, you know what, though? I wouldn't be surprised if you guys ended up together, in 3 months or something. Especially with how Vince looks at her. far as Vince, though, he was miserable. Vince, when he finally showed up on the feeds, he was just throwing a giant pity parade. It was, oh, woe is me all over the house. No one likes him. He sucks at competitions. He says it's coming to him all at once that he just can't win this game, and he's just living in it. He's just here. He's living in the house, but he can't win the game, and he's like, I'm so terrible. Why did I lie so much? Vince also very worried about the public perception. He is very worried about how people are going to see him and view him after this. The whole time, Morgan is trying to pump him up the whole time, being like, no, like, you're awesome. Your game's great. Like, you're going to be so good after this. Ashley, she was like, I'm stuck in here with the lovebirds. I'm going to bed. Morgan and Vince, they keep, going back and forth, over and over things. She even says, Morgan, she's like, Vince, life's gonna be great after this. Like, what are you talking about? You're gonna have all your people back, your parents and Kelsey and new people too. And Vince is just like falling deeper into depression. Like every time she mentions her, like every time she mentions Kelsey, he just falls like deeper and deeper. Like she even at one point, she's like, Vince, what do you think Kelsey would tell you right now? And like his face was just like, I mean, right now, I think there's a lot of things she would tell me, honestly, and none of them would be helpful in this situation. It's like, I think there's a lot that Kelsey probably wants to tell me right now, but yeah, it's not gonna be constructive at all. It would make things worse. Morgan, you're only making things worse at this moment. And I wonder, because here's the thing, Morgan's not that unaware, right? Like Morgan isn't that socially inept where she doesn't kind of get what she's doing a little bit. And I feel like she brings it up almost to tease him a little bit. Like, I feel like I'm just being, like, because here's the how could you keep bringing this up after the thing, after everything that's going on, after the conversation she just had with Ashley? Why would you keep bringing her up? Like, that's my only thing. And I wonder how much this is just Morgan kind of messing. And this is just me speculating here, but it feels like she is poking the bear. I feel like she knows exactly what she's doing here. Vince also, I feel like at this point knows exactly what the situation is. We saw his diary room on the episode the other day. So, it's kind of a wild one there. But they eventually do go to bed. Like I said, Vince was pouting and pitying himself the whole time. Like I said, we do have an episode tonight. It'll be the memory lane, kind of a look back on the season where the final three will have dinner and they'll talk about, different moments in the house. And it'll be like silly stuff. Like, do you guys remember when Ava said that thing that was so funny? And everyone goes like, ha ha ha, that was great. I remember that. Oh my God, Rachel was the best. She was so crazy though. And Keanu and Rachel, they would fight all the time. And then they'll do like a diary room segment where everybody goes in the diary room and they're all tired. They're like, oh, I don't want to be in the diary room. And there you go. I just saved you guys a whole bunch of time. We'll find the jury house clip a little bit later. We'll also end up getting part 2 of the final 3 HoH. That will be taking place today. Feeds should come back after that, so we'll get information on who won part 2. I'll have all of that for you on tomorrow's update. And then, of course, Sunday is the finale where we will find out the winner of Big Brother 27. We're also going to have Cody, who's going to be hosting the jury roundtable. That was kind of announced. Not 100% sure why. Like, you have Taylor already doing BB Unlocked and Derek. Why not have Derek and Taylor host the jury roundtable? Like, wouldn't that have made sense? Where it was like a dual host kind of a situation. I think that would have been like the best possible way to handle the jury questions going forward, is to have like 2 people do it. But it seems like maybe what they're going to do is every season they're going to switch it up and they're just going to have somebody new. I feel like it's one of those things where nobody can really fill Will's shoes in doing the jury roundtable. So what they're going to do is just each season someone new will end up doing it, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually Chelsea ends up doing it, or Jag ends up doing it, or even maybe potentially Morgan ends up doing it. We'll see how that all plays out. We do have something that I want to go over here. I have put together some jury scenarios for you guys, and we're gonna go over kind of just my initial, like, all right, as of right now, here's some of like the best case scenarios I see for some of these people, and it kind of leads to, at the end of the day, the winner I think is going to win. Who the jury votes will end up going for could still be in some question, and we'll break all that down. But here's kind of like my rough guess on how I can see everything going, and we're also going to jump in chat after this, and we're going to kind of talk about everything, and I also want to hear from you, because we'll do the jury thing, and then I want to kind of get chat's reaction, and we'll do chat's jury scenarios, and we'll kind of move everything around, and we'll get what you guys think is going to take place. So let's take a look here at our jury vote scenarios. I've got each of the 3 possible final 2 scenarios. We've got Morgan and Vince, Vince and Ashley, and then probably what I think is the least likely scenario, which would be Morgan versus Ashley. I feel like that one is just like the one that is like the very least likely to happen. Let's start with probably what is our most likely scenario. Morgan versus Vince. I think Morgan beats Vince, and honestly, I gave Vince 3 votes there, but I don't even think he has those. I think if Morgan and Vince are in the final 2, I think Vince loses in a landslide. It might even be a full-on 7-0 victory for Morgan over Vince. He might end up with 1 sympathy vote from, like, let's say Lauren, right? Because Lauren and Morgan always were at each other. He might get a vote from Keanu and Kelly, but that is about it. Everybody else would end up going for Morgan. You would have Rachel, Will, Ashley, and Ava. That's enough. Morgan would end up winning that scenario if it's Morgan versus Vince. In our next most likely scenario, this one is really kind of dependent on pretty much either Ashley or Vince winning the final 3 HoH and then cutting Morgan. And this is where I think things are a little bit tricky here, because I think this really comes down to who actually cuts Morgan. The reason right now I have it on the board as it would be a Vince win, with him getting Kelly, Lauren, Keanu, and even Morgan, because Morgan has said that she would vote for Vince even if he cut her. The reason why is I think Vince has a more likely shot at winning the final 3 HoH over Morgan than Ashley does. Now, if Ashley pulls off a victory here and she's the one to cut Morgan, I fully would expect almost all of these votes to jump over to Ashley. I feel like it would end up being a situation where it'd actually be like a 6-1 victory for Ashley, with maybe like Morgan giving Vince a sympathy vote or something like that. I actually think if whoever would win that final 3 HoH, they would be the one to take this away. So even though right now I have it on Vince, that's just because I think he's more likely to win. But if Ashley were able to pull off that final 3 HoH, I think all the votes would flip over to her and she would win it. If Vince would win that final 3 HoH, I think he would at the very least have the 4 to win, because I do think Rachel, Will, and Ava are really locked in votes for Ashley if she's sitting there in the final seats. That's also what makes her dangerous to take to the end, because she only needs 1 more, right? She would only need, let's say, Kelly to flip or Lauren to flip, who she did have a little bit of a connection with towards the end of the game. She would only need Keanu to still be bitter at Vince, and then she would win, right? So this is kind of like best case scenario, where it's like, hey, no bitter juries. These are people who were close to Vince that I actually think could vote for him. The problem is they're bitter, so maybe they don't even vote for him in those situations if he does cut Morgan. I just think that would be his best way of actually winning. He wins the final 3 HoH, he cuts Morgan, he would probably get some of those jury votes that he lost back, and even Morgan would say she would go on to vote for him to win. And then in probably the least likely scenario, we got Morgan versus Ashley, and I have this one up here. Who's that coming on in? We got Alex coming on in saying Morgan is winning this with the $2 super chat. Alex, I agree. Also, I did not see, hold on, let me see if I can replay. I think my alert for it is broken. My alert for it is broken, but we had 2 people hit up the Ori fund. We had, let's see, Teresa hit up the Ori fund for $15. Teresa, thank you so much, saying thank you, Ori. And then we had Gillian coming on in with $10 into the Ori fund, saying thank you for these recaps. I really enjoyed them, Ori. You rock. You guys get some Rocky music. Or actually, that's not the right one. That's like the pump up one. You need this one. You get the horns. When you guys do that, you get the horns. That is crazy, guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I really do appreciate it. Gotta hit you guys with that again. So our last jury scenario here. Like I said, Morgan and Ashley. I think this is probably my least likely scenario, only because it would require Ashley or Morgan to cut Vince. And I just don't think they're gonna do that. Morgan could, right? It's potential that she could, but I think she does also worry about Ashley having in some of those locked in votes, right? And she would also, I think, worry about even getting Lauren's vote, right? Like, I have her getting Lauren's vote here. Would Lauren actually vote for Morgan over Ashley? I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I do not know that answer. So it could actually be a situation where Ashley could even beat Morgan if the 3 locked in votes that I think she does have stick with it. The problem is, I could also see Rachel just being like, listen, Morgan won this, right? Like, Morgan ran this thing. As much as I love Ashley, Morgan deserves this. So that could very much happen. But usually you end up voting for the people you're a little bit closer to. I think Will would always probably choose Ashley over Morgan, but maybe not either, right? Both of them are judges, so I could see them also going for Morgan there too. But again, I also don't think this is a scenario we're going to be seeing. I just don't think this is one that makes a lot of sense as we move forward. So we'll kind of see what do you guys think as we're going to be jumping on into the chat here and talking to you guys. I also have a new way I'm doing chat. It's kind of like a new interface where I have everybody all in one window. So we'll see how this goes and how it works. I think it's working because I do see all types of people coming on in, even the bots over on Kick. And then I think I can ban it right from here. Bang. Yeah, ban them. What's up, everybody? Lisa, Lara, quiet rotating vessel, Alexandria, my dad's Chips, Shelly, Madeline, Ori fans, Cara, Steven, Michelle. How are you guys? Tasha, Lisa, Tiff, Otherworld Kitty, Anne. How are you guys on this lovely Friday? Boy, I'm finna the swing. Cody will be better host than Dan Taylor, probably. If Morgan takes him to the end. What else do we got here? Let's see. I don't see Kelly voting for Vince to win. That's the thing, right, Lacey? Like, for the most part, I'm giving him that mainly for like his best case scenario. I don't even think he does get it though, right? Like, that's like, this is best case scenario, but I honestly don't even think he does get that vote. I really don't. But if he wants to win, he needs it. He would need it if he wants to win. Who is that coming on in? We had Pam coming on in with the $5 super chat. I am not voting for Ori. He made too many Final 2 deals. Guess I have to vote for Vinny. Pam, no. I promise. I never was going to turn on you. It wasn't, I didn't send you out. Vinny did it. Vinny did it. It was all Vinny. Dislike these final 4, now final 3. Really don't care who wins. Not a chance. Everyone is leaving the house saying Ashley is smart. I would pay money to see Vince cut Morgan loose. Also, Michelle, I don't know if everyone's saying that. Keanu, I had just seen his exit interviews. He was actually saying that he believes Morgan is playing by far the best game, like by far. So Keanu, I think, would be a big vote for Morgan, but whoever would cut Morgan, I think, would get Keanu's vote, right? Like, if Vince actually cuts Morgan, I think he would get his vote. If Ashley cut Morgan, I think he would get her his vote. She would get his vote. I think that's how it would go. And and I think it's really close, that final two. And it's a matter of whether or not the bitterness would reign through. I keep voting for Keanu's America's favorite player every day. I hope he wins. I don't think Kelly ever votes Vince. Even against Ashley, Kevin never really likes Vince. She does say it a lot, but also I think a lot of it was just like her like doing that whole instigating stuff. Because you never really could trust what she would say. She would always say like, you know, one thing and then something completely different to somebody else. The hyper fixation coming on in with the $5 super chat. Keanu said he wants to come back at least 2 more times and become a 2-time winner. We're definitely getting more of him. I hope so. I'd love to see Keanu play again. I think he was a lot of fun to root on. Listen, he was so delusional. He was so in his own head and believed he knew everything. He was so much better than everybody else, and that was his problem. He wouldn't listen to anybody, except for maybe Vince, right? Like Vince, he would try and listen to, but a big part of that was also still like him being like, well, I can handle Vince, right? Like he was so full of himself. He was like, I can take care of Vince. Like Vince isn't that big of a problem. I can deal with it. So yeah, just Keanu, absolutely delusional, but a lot of fun to root for. A lot of fun to root for. Vince really played for no reason and lost everything, but it's technically also his only real job. I'm actually a little bit like I'm starting to like not feel bad for Vince, but like feel bad for Vince. Because here's the thing, I feel like Vince, he's definitely been through some stuff, and I think he's a guy who has been struggling for a really long time. I think he's probably been in this relationship for a long time, which, listen, if we're being honest, right, like there's nothing wrong with being in a relationship for however many years and never getting married or doing anything like that. I know plenty of people. One of my buddies, like uncles, he has been with his girlfriend for like 50 years, but they will never get married. They just don't want to do it. And like, that's perfectly fine. It's whatever, you know, people are wanting to do in their relationship is fine. But I feel like just based on what we're seeing, like, and everything going on, like, in the house, how he talks about being in the house, like, they were talking about, like, leaving on Sunday, and he's like, I almost don't want to leave. Like, I love being here. Like, this is the happiest I've been in a really long time. And I think that's not even, like, him, like, playing it up. I think he's just being honest right there. I think he's been, like, really depressed for a really long time, Vince. And I think that's why he's been unemployed. I think that's why everything's going on with the relationship right now. And like, it's like, listen, he's making some choices in there that I don't think I necessarily agree with. I try not to be hard on people in there, because like I said, it warps everything and it makes everything feel like 20 times more intense than it really is. And I think he was dealing with a lot of stuff, and then being in this house really warped him to a whole nother level. So it's like, listen, he's making his choices in there, and like, he's his own guy, but also it's like, I kind of understand him a little bit. Like, I understand how he got to this point, and I don't know. I hope he gets to a good point, because I think he's gonna have a rough time coming out of this as well. And that's one of those other things on why I try and give people so much like grace, and just be like, listen, they're gonna get dogpiled, and it's probably best if we just let them try and deal with their mess, because it's gonna be a mess. Who's that coming on in? We got Caddy coming on in with the $10 super chat, saying thank you so much for all your hard work and wonderful personality every day. Who do you think will win America's favorite? Also, who do you pick if it were just your choice? Ooh, those are good questions. First off, thank you so much for the super chat. I think who's going to win will be either Keanu or Rachel. It's a 2-dog race, and I think it's almost too close to call right now. And I just don't know 100% where it's gonna lie. all the polling that I've seen, right? Like if you think of it like a presidential election where it's like we've got the exit data. People are saying that this and that. Everything is looking like Keanu has a bit of an edge over Rachel, but they are definitely the top two. I would give Keanu a good shot. I think here's the thing with Keanu. He's likable, right? He's delusional and he can be full of himself, but he's still likable. It's like you're like, "Oh, Keanu, like get yourself together, Keanu." Like you want him to do better, right? You want him to succeed and you want him to become the best possible Keanu he can be. Like that's the best way I can describe it. So yeah, and I think also if I had the choice, I think it would be Keanu. I think he deserves it. I think he was a lot of fun to root for. I don't think there would be any problem with Rachel because I do think Rachel brought a little bit of a flair to the season and kind of a dynamic that made this season a little bit more entertaining. You have to give her that. Other than that, I think Will is somebody I wouldn't mind seeing getting that. Morgan's gonna win, so she can have that. Yeah, I think those are probably the people that I would most want to see win it. But Keanu's my number one. On top of that, we still don't have the alerts working for it. I wonder if I can fix that. I don't know what it would be. Would it be this one? No. I don't think I can fix that. But we had two people coming on in, hitting up the Ori fund. And we had Dad's Chips coming on in with the $11 Ori fund hit up saying, why would a good woman like Kelsey put up 7 years with a weasel snake of a man? Whoa! looks straight out of Gangs of New York. Oh my goodness. Dad's Chip going in. Dad's Chip saying, I'm going for the jugular. We're going hard. I think, like I was saying, Dad's Chip, I think Vince has, I think, had some issues for a while. And I think that's really how he's become like who he is at this point, and why he's so whiny about things. Like he feels like nothing can go his way anymore. And I feel like he's been feeling that way for years. And it's probably one of those things where he probably should have ended that relationship with Kelsey a long time ago, right? Just for his own, mental health and to get himself right. Because I feel like it was probably something similar to what we're seeing with Morgan, where Morgan's just such a good friend to him, so supportive, trying to build him up and push him forward. And I think Kelsey was that in his life before this. I think trying to be supportive, trying to help him out. And I think it was one of those things where it was almost enabling him to keep down the path that he was going. So I feel like it was actually one of those things that it was probably just one of those relationships that should have ended probably a long time ago, and probably shouldn't have gone on. Again, I don't know them 100%, but just based on like what I'm kind of seeing, it feels like that's kind of what it's like. And I don't know. And who am I to judge, right? Like, again, maybe they come on out of this and Vince and Kelsey get back together and everything's fine. Maybe they come on out of this and they're a throuple. And maybe that's cool too. I don't know, guys. I'm just a goofy dude on an internet. I don't know what I'm talking about. We also had Otter coming on in with a $10 Ori fund hit up. And Otter said, Ori BB chat friends, thank you so much for another fun season of watching together. Thank you, Otter, so much. Yeah, the season with you guys, it becomes just a different level. It is so much fun hanging out with you guys all season long. And listen, we're not ending things, right? Like, this is the last Friday morning live stream of the season, but we're going to keep doing the Friday morning live streams. I think these are going to be kind of a staple of the channel, kind of moving forward. Obviously, not always talking about Big Brother, but there's always going to be stuff to talk about. We're going to be doing a lot of watch parties over on Kick and things like that. So make sure you guys are checking out all of our other socials. If you're not in the Discord, make sure you're checking out the Discord. I think I could press this button here, and it pops up in all the chats. Go check out the Discord. Join the Discord. It is probably one of the best ways to keep track of everything that's going on in kind of the Ori universe, right? We're going to be doing streams over here. We're going to be doing streams over on Kick and Twitch. We're actually live on Kick and Twitch right now. But make sure you're keeping track with the Discord, because that's going to be the best way to keep up with everything. I want to do watch parties. One of the big things I want to do after the season, kind of like #1 on the list, Traders Ireland. I want to watch Traders Ireland so bad, and it's been going on like towards the end of the season here. I think it's almost wrapped up. So what we'll be able to do is kind of jump into it right after the season, and we can start flying with it. It'll be a lot of fun. We've also got stuff going on right now like The Amazing Race. Listen, guys, I'll be honest. I said I was gonna watch The Amazing Race last night. I tried, and I fell asleep. It was a really good thing I set alarms to when I thought the feeds were coming back. I was like, I think the feeds will come back at this time. So just in case I was like watching something and I wasn't aware that the feeds were coming back or something, I was like, I think they're going to be back by this time. So let me set an alarm like before I think they'll be back. And it was a good thing I did, because I fell asleep during the Amazing Race episode last night. And if I didn't set that alarm, I wouldn't have seen when the feeds came back. I might still be sleeping if I didn't set that alarm. Like I was out. It definitely it did the job. So listen, if you guys have insomnia like I do during the season, Amazing Race Big Brother, can't recommend it enough. We got a couple of other things that I need to catch up on here. Thank you so much, Otter. Thank you, Dad's Chips. Thank you, Caddy. We also had Donald coming on in with a $20 super chat. Donald saying, I enjoy your updates daily during my recovery from surgery. Coffee, cigarettes, and Ori streams. Well, hopefully not during your recovery of surgery with the coffee and cigarettes. But Donald, thank you so much. Also, vote Rachel, America's favorite player. Donald, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. And then we had Susie Tofu. Susie celebrating 1 month of membership as an Oreo. Thank you so much for a great summer. Really going to miss this. Well, again, Susie, we're not going anywhere. Listen, we're not going to be here for our daily live feed updates anymore. The Friday morning live streams are going to stick around. I might even do, like, if I can pull it off. I have to work out the schedule and stuff like that. The way you guys show the love, though, maybe we can make it happen. But I might even start doing, once the season's over, a little bit more of these morning streams, right? Where we can just pop on, chat about like kind of what's happening. Like I said, Fridays, like the Friday morning ones, I kind of want to keep those as a staple. Like every Friday, we're going to go live. We're going to be here. We're going to chat Friday morning. Just kind of talk about what's been going on. Maybe that is just whatever was happening that week, what's going to be coming up that week. And then we're definitely going to be doing some other streams. Even if you guys are into like video games and stuff like that, I really want to get back into Marvel Rivals. I am addicted to Marvel Rivals. It's one of my favorite video games. And I have not been playing that almost at all this season. I'm like a Marvel Rivals partner. Like I get early access to the game when like new characters drop and stuff. And I literally have barely touched that game almost all season long. So I definitely want to do that. But that, yeah, we're definitely going to be keeping some more content going. Plus, on top of that, guys, listen, I'm telling you, there's some irons in the fire of some things I'm cooking up, some potential projects that I'm working on. Not only just for this channel in particular, but like bigger aspirations. Really, really, like you guys would be like, wait, like what's going on? Like, huh? Like you got who involved? Like it's big things. I got big projects that I want to get done, especially during the off season. Also, on top of that, I really think we are getting a winter season of Big Brother. The biggest reason why I think we're getting that, the Olympics are on this winter. With that happening, usually they don't want to spend a lot of money on scripted TV shows to put on during the winter because they're going up against the Olympics and they're not going to do as well, right? And it's going to cost a lot of money. Whereas if you do a reality show like Big Brother, doesn't cost as much money, still might do, you know, decent numbers, right? Like the Celebrity Big Brothers and the winter season, the Big Brothers reindeer games, they do decent numbers, right? Like it's not like terrible numbers as far as what they do for the winter seasons. So I highly suspect that we're getting some sort of winter season of Big Brother. Will it be a celebrity version? I don't know. Will it be Reindeer Games Season 2? I don't know. Will it be what I really hope? This is like, guys, if they do this, it might be the most epic winter that we've seen in a really long time. If they do Big Brother versus the world, I know a lot of you guys were keeping up with Survivor Australia versus the world. Listen, if you haven't been watching Survivor Australia versus the world, it was maybe the best reality TV show I've ever seen, ever. It was so much fun. It was just hard-hitting gameplay. Some of the best Survivor players in the world. And I would like to see them do BBUS versus the world. Do 12 house guests, right? 6 Big Brother legends, right? Get like big names, really like really do this right. And then have them go up against 6 people from around the world, right? And whether it's even just like, not just like the world, right? But like outside of Big Brother, right? Like get somebody from Survivor. Imagine Boston Rob is on this, right? Get somebody from The Challenge. Imagine someone like CT or Cara Maria or Laurel. Oh my, could you guys imagine Laurel in the Big Brother house? Right? Like get somebody from The Challenge, right? Get somebody from Big Brother Canada. Get somebody from Big Brother Australia, Big Brother UK, right? Like this could be one of the most epic seasons of Big Brother we've ever seen. And you do, right? Wes, Ika, there's so many great options. CT, Ashley, oh, Ashley in the big, oh my God, like Veronica. There's so many good options on who they could put in there, right? Kevin from BB10, Grodner needs to go. Sorry, not sorry at all. It would just be, I think, one of the best seasons of Big Brother they would ever do. Do it on a shortened schedule, right? Like have it run for like pretty much the month of February, maybe a little bit into March, right? And then it could be one of the most fun, entertaining, and exciting seasons of Big Brother we've ever seen if they do it right, if they do it the way Survivor Australia versus the world did it, where they made it raw and real and just all about the game. Like there was zero filler, like it was no fat, like it was a zero fat game. It was lean, it was mean, it was just game from bell to bell. That show was amazing, and I really want Big Brother to do something like that as well. Big Brother doesn't, maybe there's somebody else that can. Who could do something on that level? Maybe one day. Anybody know any investors? Who knows some investors? We need to make some calls in a proper game format. Yeah, if they do it all in a proper game format, you'll get heavy hitters willing to do it do a few weeks. Exactly. That's the big thing. Boy, I'm finning the swang. That is the big thing, is the time frame, right? Getting, you know, like people like Rachel to come back and do a full season is almost impossible. I'm shocked they got Rachel to commit to do it again. She's just so hard. But that's why they get to do the trader so easily, because it's 2 weeks long. You're in, you're out. You're not there for months on end. And it ends up being a lot easier. Plus, also, Rachel's in like that kind of a position with her career where she does stuff with like reality TV shows. She does like other stuff like, you know, that she has done where like she doesn't necessarily need to be there like 100% and like she could take those 3 months off. Not everybody can do that, where they can just take 3 months off from their schedule and go away and try and win $750,000. 2 weeks though, I could take a 2-week vacation whenever, right? So that's why you see a lot more big names that will go on like things like the Traders again, but might not ever play Big Brother. That's why I think the winter seasons are the perfect time to do these big events, right? Make the winter these big, you know, crazy all-star type seasons where you bring back huge names or names that we would like to see play Big Brother that never normally would sign up for the full thing. Like Boston Rob, I don't think Boston Rob ever would do it. Audio's cutting in and out. Audio? Oh no. What do you mean the audio? It looks good on my end. It looks good on my end. Let me check let's check YouTube. Audio's cutting out. Everything looks good on my end. Let me see. No. Now I got an ad. I'm watching an ad on my own thing. Audio's okay for me. Yeah, maybe refresh. Yeah, if you guys are having audio issues, maybe just try and refresh. I think it's just on your end. If the audio's cutting out, try and refresh. Try and refresh. Keanu for the challenge? Absolutely. Keanu would do great on the challenge. What did he say? I don't know what I said. Do it again. Now it's doing it again? Really? My audio is fine too. Maybe a shorter version. Refresh works. Yeah, that would be the thing. Refresh the stream, and then it would end up fixing it. I don't know why. I think it's a YouTube thing more than anything else. I think that happens sometimes on YouTube. I've noticed a ton of spotty coverage of my internet. I could always hear you on the TV app, but cuts out on phones. Interesting. Who's that? We got GG coming on in with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much, GG. I appreciate it. Did I miss anything else coming on in? No, I think we're good. The refresh works. I'm thinking some people have Temu Wi-Fi. Still cutting in and out. Audio is fine for me as well. Man, that's crazy. Are you an Izzy fan? Oh, you're asking Otter. Kara, I'll say this. I'm actually kind of an Izzy fan. I was an Izzy fan. I think this might be a hot take. I know if Morrow's here, Morrow would have my back. Morrow would die on this hill with me. BB27, pre-jury, the feeds were so much fun, all because of Izzy. Izzy made the pre-jury of BB27 amazing. She was the absolute best. If it wasn't for Izzy just causing all the flips each and every week, going crazy, she had this like manic energy to her where all of a sudden she would run to Sari and be like, I think we gotta flip the vote. I think we gotta do it. It was the absolute best. Yeah, Maru is the biggest Izzy fan. 100% done. Izzy is a blast. Izzy sucks. Yeah, I'm an Izzy fan. I liked Izzy the very moment she grabbed Jarrett and pulled him away. Can't stand Izzy. She's a wreck. She said she's messed up stuff about oh, did she really? Uh-oh. And listen, I'll be honest, right? At this point, I don't know how messed up it was, but at this point, I also have said some stuff about, like, I've said, like, I feel like the way he handled everything, because listen, I know he went and did some interviews now. I feel like the way all that worked out, I think he went and kind of hid from the interviews. I don't know. And to me, that feels like, man, I don't know. I feel like it's a thing. Also, we hear from Jimmy that, like, it's still going on. It's a thing. Oh no, Glenn, you keep getting mondoed. I'm sorry. Also, I heard something come on in there. Susie Tofu with the $5 super chat. Do you know how to do it? So appreciate it. Really need the distraction and humor these last few months. Don't know how you do it. So appreciate it. Really needed the distraction and humor these last few months. Susie Tofu, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And yeah, that is kind of the goal of this, right? Is to give a place where we can come together and kind of hang out and have a good time and not worry about like the distractions of the outside world, because Lord knows it's a nightmare. What, anybody remember the show Monk? The detective who had like OCD, and the theme song, it's a jungle out there. It really is a jungle out there, and it's kind of nice to have a place that we can all like come together and just have a good time and just try and have some laughs here and there. The hyper fixation coming on in with the $5 super chat. Feel like we might get a BB18 style type season for returnees. Who would you want? For me, my 4 would be Tiffany, Turner, Angela, and Keanu. Ooh, that'd be an interesting group. I like Tiffany, I like Keanu, I like Angela. Turner was all right. I feel like there might be somebody that we could get better than maybe Turner. Man, it would be tough. Glenn says Tyler, Casey, Keanu, and Angela. That's a good one too. Hobbycat getting in on that kick action. Let's go. They were hilarious on feeds. Izzy and Suri were great on feeds. Absolutely. Do you think the comps are equitable? I got into it with someone who is convinced they are not. So I think at this point, yes, I think they are equitable. Like, Morgan keeps winning, but it's because she's who she's up against, right? And like, there's just always going to be somebody who's better at competitions than others, right? Where it's just how it is. I wouldn't say the one where the sliding, right? They were complaining about that one, saying it was too physical. You're sliding pieces of puzzle up and down on a vertical slide or horizontal slide puzzle. Like, it's this isn't like it's the world's strongest man competition and you're grabbing those giant boulders and putting them up on the pedestal. Like, what are we, like, this isn't, if that's hard for you, I don't know what to say. I don't. Right now, that said, right, maybe there should be a little bit more of kind of a luck-based thing. But at the end of the day, the way Big Brother has always worked, the beginning of the season is all about social and strategic play, right? You want to get in and get good bonds that you're able to use and kind of use to your advantage later in the season. You want to strategically make moves in the house to put yourself in a position where you're with people that not only you trust, but here's the key thing that a lot of people in the past few seasons have been forgetting. You want to take people to the end you can beat. You want to take people to the end that, hey, guess what? If I'm in a competition with them, I can beat them. Hey, if I'm sitting at the end in the final 2 chairs with them, I can beat them. That's the point. You don't want to take your friends. Like, you want to take your friends only so far. And you want to take people that'll take out your friends. And it's one of those things where the past few seasons we've seen some people go on runs, right? Whether it was Morgan this year, MJ and Chelsea kind of went on a run last year, Jag and Matt the year before that. Why did they go on those runs though? A lot of it was, hey, who do we take to the end, right? Oh, Ashley and Ava, not that hard to beat in a competition, right? Why do you think Morgan was going after Kelly, Lauren, and Keanu so hard? her entire alliance was Rachel, Will, and Ashley. And then Ava was just kind of out there. Those were the people that Morgan wanted to go to the end with. Why? Because she could beat them. Same thing with MJ and Chelsea, right? Like, Chelsea wanted to go to the end with people like Rubina and T-Core. Why? Because she could beat them. Like, they weren't good at competitions. The only one that was good was MJ, and she was like, listen, I'm just going to do my best to make sure MJ's as close to me as possible, because that's the only one that can possibly beat me right now. So I'm going to make sure she takes me to the end. And then you have Matt and Jag. They did the same thing. They were like, yeah, we got to get rid of all these people who can win competitions. Corey, America, Cameron, they got to go. Felicia and Sari, absolutely, we want to keep the grandmas in the house. And I would do the same thing. If I'm in there and I have a choice between someone like Keanu and someone like Sari, I'm taking Sari every day of the week. Every single day. Because it's going to be the easier person to beat in that competition, and then I have the final say. Right? I agree, Ori. I mean, Morgan is a 100-pound woman making comms equitable. Right, like, and it's not even like, right, Morgan's not like it's like China from the WWF back in the day, where she's like the ninth wonder of the world and she can beat up some of the guys, right? Like Morgan isn't like Ronda Rousey in her prime, where like she could probably kick some of the guys in the UFC's butt, right? Like this is Morgan is athletic. She's athletic, right? But here's the other thing. I also think Janelle would kick Morgan's butt. Like, I think prime Janelle, like Janelle back in the day, I think would kick Morgan's ass. I think Morgan wouldn't stand a chance against prime Janelle. But at the end of the day, right? Like, it's all about who you take to the end, who you're able to beat, right? Like, if you're Will and Rachel, you want to be there in the end with someone like Ava and Ashley, because then maybe, guess what? You could beat them. Maybe that's how it works. And it's why, like, the beginning of the season is always about that social game, the strategic game. And the end of the season, the second half, like, once you get into jury, it's all about the competitions. That's why you need to take out those people who can beat you. Because if they beat you, guess what? They're going to take you out. So you want to take people that you can beat in the end. They should have BB with older folks 45 and up. That would be pretty good. We also had Madeline coming on in with the $2 super chat. Madeline, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was around YouTube, had 9 years ago. Amazing, Ori. Thank you so much. Hugs, lots all around. Thank you so much, Kitty, over on Twitch. I appreciate it. You have to give her credit. She played an outstanding game. Her social game was 24/7. She turned on her comp game at the right time. Absolutely. Morgan's been dominating. Your prime Janelle would wipe the floor with Morgan and go back for seconds. The last time Morgan didn't have immunity was Final 11. And the comps are part of the game. Survivor doesn't dumb down their comps to make sure that we can win. Laura, exactly, right? And what do they do in Survivor? Yeah, hey, maybe we should get rid of the strong guys, right? Like, it might weaken our tribe, but once we get the merge, this guy's going to be a problem, so we should probably get rid of him now. And that's what they end up doing. Now, here's the thing. Blockbuster is the situation, right? Blockbuster pushes comp threats further in the game. If Keanu and Kelly weren't pushed as far in the game as they normally would they have been able to do a little bit better? And maybe they could have taken shots at Morgan, right? And taken her out earlier. Because then maybe we're ending up with a final four of like Will, Rachel, Ava, and Ashley. And if that's the final four, well, the comps are pretty equitable in that group, aren't they? They're pretty equitable there, aren't they? But yeah, it's one of those things where you're never going to make everybody happy. And here's the other thing too. Comps being equitable doesn't mean every comp can be won by everyone, right? Real equitable comps, right, mean that, hey, sometimes it's a physical competition that you're gonna need to win. Sometimes it's a pure mental competition. That's actually something I would like to see more of. Like, I would like to see part 2 of the final 3 HoH be a little bit more on the mental side than the physical side of the competitions. I know like part 3 is all mental nowadays with the way they do it. But like it's a little hard to get to part 3 sometimes because you got to be physical in part 2. So like I almost would rather part 3 be more physical for the final 3 HoH than it be the mental side of it, right? Like I almost wish part 2 and 3 were almost flipped a little bit in how they were done. But yeah, it's one of those things where true equitability is where, hey, if I'm a strong guy, I can go into Big Brother and I have just as good of a chance to win as someone who is the smart guy, because there's going to be things that are good for him and there's going to be things that are good for me. Because if you only do things that are luck based, well, then that's kind of silly, right? Where it's like, if it's only luck, that's not fun. Luck should be in there every so often. But if it's only luck, that's no fun. But it should be a thing where, you know, the older, you know, grandma type can go into Big Brother and have a chance to win, but the strong guy should also get a chance to win just as much. But you can't just base it all on luck, because then it's like, well, why take out the strong guy ever, right? If that's the case, why even take him out? It would actually end up being more at a disadvantage for the smart people. It would, because then you would go, all right, well, yeah, I'm just going to keep all the dummies. Are you a gym bro and you don't know what strategy is? All right, I'm going to keep you around. Because guess what? You're not going to beat me in these competitions, probably. They're all luck anyway. And if you do, I can manipulate you more. So it's like, I think people who ask for like truly like, I want all the comps to be equal and everyone has an equal shot to win. All right, well, if you do that, you're going to end up where a lot of people that you would probably like would probably be big targets now. Because if all the comps are equal, why do I get rid of the strong guys, right? Why do I do that? Where's what the bleep and the before and after comp? Yeah, we didn't really have a before and after comp. What the bleep wasn't there. Was there anything else that was like, oh, I'm surprised that the egg comp, like the chicken wire with the eggs, that wasn't this season. We didn't get a slip and slide this year. But they don't do them every year. That's the other thing too. Though that said, right, we still don't know. Maybe chicken wire will be part 2 or something. maybe the eggs will be part 2 of the HoH. We'll have to see. Ashley is the only pick I still have on Zoe's draft. If anything, oh, by the way, draft. We should take a look real quick. There also were some minor discrepancies. A couple of people weren't getting allocated their proper points for their team. If that's a thing, just let me know. Just take a look at like your team, right? Like, for example, if you have Adrian, Amy, and you know, Jimmy, right? You're probably not in the top, and you would know that your points are probably pretty low. Add up your points, go on to where you are. If they don't add up, just let me know. But I think I fixed a lot of them. It seems like most of them are correct right now. But if you do find an issue with your team, just let me know. Also, you could do exclamation BB27 if you want to see the link to the draft, and you can find your spot on there. But here you can see some of our top teams at the moment. We've got Amy Lee, we've got Mr. Killen and Parker Whale here in the top spot with tied 3 people at number 1. We've got Keanu, Morgan, and Vince on their teams. So nobody can pull away. They've all got the same team. Keanu getting taken out, maybe that ends up opening up the room for somebody else. If anybody has ooh, Ashley, Morgan, Vince, we do have people who have the final 3. So we right now, technically Emal is in second because he has Ava, Morgan, and Vince. And at the moment, Ava still has more points than Ashley. But we've got a bunch of people here. Ashley, Morgan, Vince, Mr. Richie, Oncoid, we've got Sleepy Mosh, Star, the Camillinator, Christian, or no, Christian does not. These people here, Camillinator to Mr. Richie. These people all have Ashley, Morgan, Vince. These teams are perfect. These teams have our top 3. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to be honest. In all the years that we've been doing this draft, I'm not sure we've ever had somebody get all 3 of the finalists. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember if that's happened or not. I don't remember if anybody's ever had all 3 final 3 members. And we've got a bunch of people. We've got, how many are here with it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people, all with a perfect team. Right, Alexandria? Like, that's crazy to choose the top 3 at the beginning. They were spoiled for sure. Great picks. Yo, that's crazy. What great picks from them. That is awesome. So yeah, these are going to be our winners, right? Like these are our winners here. There's no way anybody can beat them because they're going to be getting all the points here. They're going to be getting all the points here. So it's pretty much locked up, no matter even who would end up winning because they have all 3 of them. That is so cool here. Ooh. Would there be anything? No, because that wouldn't change anything. Yeah, they're just going to end up being our winners. That's crazy. That is so cool that they got all 3 of them. All 3 of our top 3. Who won part 1? It was Morgan. Morgan won part 1 of the HoH. We were just going over our draft here. So big congratulations to Mr. Richie the 7th, Oncoid, Sleepy Mosh, Star 29, the Camillinator. They are the winners of our draft. They are the winners of our draft. Do they get 1-year membership? Donnie, I wish I could do that. If I could do that, I would 100% would. The problem is I don't know if you can gift a person like specifically. I'll have to look. Maybe there's a way to do that on the back end. If so, absolutely. That would be a cool prize. But that is awesome. I'll also go and I'll double check to make sure that nobody else has those 3 and didn't get the points for them. Secret time travelers. Absolutely. That is so cool. Well, there you go. There's our update for our draft. But you can do exclamation BB27 if you want to get a link. And you can take a look at the draft for yourself. Figure out where you finished with points. I'll definitely be updating this as well as each person ends up winning the different parts for the HoH. And then also, of course, the jury vote at the end. I really kind of liked calculating the jury votes, or not the jury votes, but the correct votes this year. Mainly because here's the thing. It gives a really good insight on, you know, who had, you know, not only just like good, like social games, but like a little bit more insight on how things were going. Like, for example, Morgan has 9 correct votes. Like Morgan really was almost always on the correct side of the vote the entire season. So it's cool to kind of see that in a statistic. Ashley was kind of like just behind her, but like Ashley was also on the block more times, I think, right? Maybe, or maybe like same amount of times, but just in general, the times they were off the block and stuff like that, Ashley ended up voting correctly 8 times, at least on my board here. I don't know. It could be wrong also. I have to double check like all the stats before the end of the season. Let's see what you guys are saying up in chat. Vince the victim lip. Did I show off I should show off what we were showing last night on the watch party. I made a couple of things. That I thought were pretty funny. Let's see here. Let me pull them on up and I'll show you. Let me pull them on up and I'll show you. There's one. I'll get this one pulled up too. Boom. So I made a few things. So on the episode, we had Keanu talk about how Vince was the most untrustworthy man on the West Coast. So that kind of inspired me to make a wanted poster. Wanted, Vinny the Lip, the most untrustworthy man on the entire West Coast, can be identified by being extra huggy, known for double-crossing his friends, crying his way out of trouble. There is a reward, and trust your at your own risk. So that is our wanted poster for Vince. But also, I had another thing that I came up with. Another thing I thought was pretty funny, because I forget exactly who it was. We were having a conversation in the videos. We were talking about in the comments of one of the updates. And I forget how we got to this, but I started coming up with the idea that Vinny the Lip would have pickled eggs, because he keeps finding himself in pickles. So for the man who kept finding himself in pickle after pickle, salted with the tears of his game, give your taste buds a hug, strictly as friends, lip smacking good Vinny the Lip pickled eggs. Make sure you get them. They're going to be available this coming October. This coming October, get your pickled eggs. We do have a testimonial as well. Hated by all jury members. The jury members hate it, but get your pickled eggs. Known for his hipster mustache and beanie. Morgan says she's a gamer. It would be great if she owns it. And in her speech, she says she's been gaming Vince all along. Ooh, Ellen. Ashley is polarizing for her superiority. Vince for his inferiority. Morgan will win. She was wimpy throughout the first half, but turned it around. I think it's a good kind of read on it at the moment right now. It should be Vinny the Drip, or you're so clever. Ashley said she's working at Walmart. Working at Walmart isn't a real job. I heard that. Yeah, it was a thing. Ain't it great, Laura? Strictly Friends. Or he reminds me of the Man magazine. Excellent. Vinny, the perpetual victim of his own crimes. Do we think Vince is going into hiding because he can't handle the perception of literally the whole entire game? I worry for him. I mentioned it earlier. Like, I'm not necessarily feeling bad for him, but like also like I feel a little bit bad for him, right? Like I feel for him. Like I understand Vince, I think. And I think he's gonna have a hard time. I think he's gonna have a really hard time after the season. And I hope he handles it well. I hope he gets the support he needs, because he's gonna need it. He's gonna need it. Ori, you should have Vince should have had Vince in his egg costume. I should have. But that's also why they're pickled eggs, right? They have to be pickled eggs because he is the egg. Ashley's disappointing. Is Morgan good at comps like Final 3? Morgan's been pretty good at comps. She's been dominating pretty much since juries pretty much started. If anything, that slide puzzle comp was easier because in the past they would have done the ramping up and down. Yes, that's true, right? They used to do like where they would climb a wall and stuff sometimes with that competition. Original, love this too. Vince the Pickle Lip. Way to go, guys. She wasn't wimpy. Wimpy, right? Maybe not the best way to say it. But she definitely wasn't, I don't know, confident. She also was a little bit lost. Like she was letting Morgan, she was letting Mickey run things a little bit. She was really blinded by Zach. It felt like she was blinded by Vince for a long time. Listen, if we don't go back and acknowledge that it felt like Vince and Zach had Morgan wrapped around their finger for the first half of the game, Look, if we really want to be honest, it felt like Morgan was under their spell. And it wasn't until Zach was gone that Morgan was able to pull Vince away from even Lauren. Like, for a long time, even though Vince was going and joining Morgan on votes, it was really because he was playing both sides, but like he really was more loyal to Zach and Vince, or Zach and Lauren always. Those were his real allies. And Morgan thought she was his ally, but they really weren't. Like, they were always with everybody else. So, like, Wimpy's not a good one, but, like, definitely not in the best position, right? Like, definitely someone who was getting pulled along and played with a little bit, but then flipped it. Like, she took control later on. And that's really impressive as well. Didn't she vote against Zach's witches? She did at times, but also was still like working with him. Like at the end of the day, she wanted Zach and Vince at the end with her. Always. Like that was always the plan. It was Morgan, Vince, Zach, and Mickey. That was the original plan. The melting pot, right? To get them all to the end. Bradley coming on in, following over on Kick. It scared the poop out of me, man. Speaking of Survivor, oh my God! Thank you for following over on Kick. I appreciate it. You're definitely gonna want to follow on Kick as well. We're gonna be doing some fun watch parties that we can't fully do over here on YouTube. But over on Kick, we can get a little bit more stuff. The biggest thing that I can do, everybody, make sure you're following over on Discord. Check out the Discord. It's the best way to keep track of like when we go live on different places and stuff like that. Also Twitter as well. I'll tweet out stuff when we're going live. But Discord's the best way. But Bradley, thank you so much for the follow. What was I saying? I was saying something, and it scared the bejesus out of me. What were we even talking about? Does anybody remember? Morgan's very loyal, but not dumb. She knows how to move on from dead weight. Vince's life outside the house, then Vince's life inside the house equals set. Right? Like, it really is, like, his life inside the house, he feels like is so much worse than it is inside the house. And, like, he doesn't want to leave. And, like, that to me feels like this is someone who was really having a hard time and really needed some help. I think at the end of the day, that's what Vince really needed. And it was one of those things where he's going to have a lot to deal with coming out of this. And I don't know how he's going to deal with it. I worry for him. I think that's the bigger thing. It's not that, like, I feel for him, right? Like, I don't feel bad necessarily. Like, he's making his own choices. But I worry for him. Ellie coming on in over on Kick, following as well. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing that. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. Like I said, one of the big things I want to do first, Traders Ireland. I want to see the Irish go at it in the Traitors Castle. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But oh, Survivor. That's what we were talking about. So Survivor. Listen, the fact that I know that there's a girl who pees a lot when she's nervous and also likes poop, I feel tells you all that you need to know about this season of Survivor. They haven't changed it up yet. It's still full of filler, full of nonsense, things you don't need to talk about. I was talking earlier about Survivor Australia versus the world, bell to bell game, like nothing but game. This, no, it is very bad still. I hope for Survivor's sake, they switch it up for season 50 and they start taking things a little bit more serious and they give their game the gravity it deserves, instead of like, oh, I peed on the boat. Oh my gosh. Like, we don't need it. We don't need that. That's not what we need. Right? Exactly, Kim. Ooh. But that's what they're showing us. And listen, I can't say too much because Big Brother likes their fart jokes, right? Like Big Brother likes to show the mold that's been in the cups that have been sitting around the house, right? Like Big Brother's not great either. The big difference though between Survivor and Big Brother, the way I watch Big Brother is through the live feeds. That's how I experience Big Brother the most. The episodes are added content, right? Like that's all the episodes are. It's like bonus clips, right? For me, Big Brother is the live feeds and everything that happens on it. So that's the big difference with Survivor and Big Brothers, because at least if the edit on Big Brother's bad, at least I can just watch the live feeds and follow the game that way. If the edit's bad on Survivor, the edit's just bad on Survivor. So it's like, who's that coming on in? Robert with the $10 super chat. I don't know if you know this, but you and I have a final two. Don't tell anybody. It's you and me. You and I to the end. Except I have 1,432 final twos already. So wait, Robert, no. Robert, it's supposed to be you and me. It's supposed to be you and me, bud. We're going to the end. Thank you so much, Robert, for the $10 super chat. You're awesome. We're going to final two. Don't tell anybody. Nobody's listening to us right now. There's definitely nobody listening to us right now. Don't worry about it. By the way, guys, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this stream, if you were having a good time, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. We're still going to have our update tomorrow as well. We'll hopefully have a lot of information on who wins part 2 of the HoH competition, as well as Sunday. We're also going to have an update, just kind of getting us prepared for finale night. And then, of course, we will be live with a watch party for the finale, where we will find out the winner of BB27. I'm really excited. It's crazy how quick the season came along, but also like how long it also felt. It's a wild time. But yeah, absolutely crazy times. All the final 3 have naturally curly hair. Dude, you know what? You're right, because Vince straightens his hair. After watching Vince on the live feeds, I'm fairly certain he has served severe OCD. Anxiety is ruining his life, which makes me sympathetic towards him. I hope he can find help to manage it. Listen, I can't diagnose him on OCD or anything like that. Like, I don't know. I'm just a goofy dude. But I definitely feel like he's been through stuff, and I agree. Like, I'm sympathetic towards him. Again, he's making a lot of his own decisions in some of it, right? But I feel like he's been suffering for a long time, and that's really why he's in the position he is, right? And I think that's why he's ended up bonding so closely with Morgan now, is because he's kind of found somebody who kind of be a little bit of that enabler to him a little bit. And he really just needs to get a lot of that help he needs. And I worry about him postseason the most, because like I said, Morgan, she's like, I don't care about the public perception. I really think she believes that, right? Like, I feel like Morgan, here's the thing. Morgan is the type who I think has been through rough times, but has healed and gotten better and past it, right? Like, I think Morgan is in a very good place in her life mentally now than she probably was in her past, and that's one of the reasons why her and Vince get along so well, right? They bonded over that, but Morgan will pump him up and really try and support him, and I think that's one of the things where, like, Vince kind of has latched on to that, where he's still in that dark spot, right? He still needs to get out of that more. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Vince needs to man up, stop making excuses. Like I said, it's not excuses. He's the one making his own decisions, but I'm just saying this is how it's gotten to that point, Coastline, right? Can you not see how this is how Vince is the way he is, right? Like, we're not saying he doesn't need to become, get over this and improve, but this is why he is in position, right? And sometimes it's not as easy as just, oh, man up and get over it, because it's just not. And so you need that support to get out of that spot. And that's kind of where I think Vince is at the moment. Morgan must really be stuck on Vince because obviously she can beat any of the ones left, but she kept Vince. And that's the thing. I think Morgan and Vince really have bonded, and I think that's why they see those reflections of each other in each other, right? It's why they connected, and they really have always been close, right? Morgan was saying Vince was her #1 guy for weeks, even when Zach was still in the house, right? She was always saying Vince was her #1 ally, right? Even though she had the crush on Zach. They were called out so early as being this duo because they just stayed up late and they were always hanging out. This is another thing I told you guys before. People who stay up late at night, they're the ones that are going to be allies. People who get up early in the morning, those are ones that are going to be allies. People who sleep in the same room, those are going to be the same allies. People who are just hanging out with each other all day and night, those are going to be the allies, right? Like, it's always the people you get along with that you're going to be the most loyal to in the end. It doesn't matter if you made a final 2 with somebody on night 1. If since that point you've gotten closer to somebody else, you're usually going to pick that other person. So it's a thing. It's a thing. I hope he finds peace eventually, and that's always what I hope for all of the house guests afterwards, is that they could just find some peace afterwards, because not all of them do. Not all of them do. Lauren is too naive and mature. Those with mental health, give it to God. I agree, but he gets more anxious on the job and lose it. I have friends like that. She couldn't keep a job, but she always got another. Vince, Ashley wins. Honestly, it's one of those things where I think it's close, and it really depends on who wins that final HoH and which one of them cut Morgan. Because if Vince cuts Morgan, I think he can win back Keanu. I think he could get Kelly and even Lauren, right? And then Morgan has said that she would still vote for Vince. So maybe he wins with 4 votes there, right? Like, I think that would be a possibility. But if Ashley were to be the one to cut, it would 100% go to Ashley, because she's already got the 3 locked in. And then I think Keanu would jump on over. I think Lauren would maybe vote for Vince still, just as like a sympathy. And then Kelly would end up voting for Ashley as well, I think, in that situation. So it's gonna be interesting. Lauren has gotten too much disrespect for that, I feel. Ooh, what was that? Like, she's the biggest crime to be a soft-spoken woman that isn't great at conflict. That's the thing too, right? Like, I feel like everybody has every right to play Big Brother however they feel, right? If you want to be loud and abrasive, be loud and abrasive. If you want to be quiet and meek, be quiet and meek. If you want to be, the one who's super loyal, be super loyal. If you're the one who wants to backstab, backstab. But what I really want at the end of the day, don't give up your game for somebody else, right? Be loyal, but don't not play the game, right? Like, don't play just to make friends and be loyal, right? Like, I want you to win, right? You can play a loyal game while still trying to win. And that's what I always want to see. And my whole thing is, like, listen, play how you want, right? There's no wrong way to play Big Brother. Whatever's effective, right? Like, Vince was whiny. Was it annoying? Yeah, but it was effective. And if that's how you want to play, go for it. We had something come on in here. What did I miss? Humane coming on in. Your daily reminder to vote Rage for America's favorite player. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Live every Friday morning. Yes, going forward, we are probably going to be doing these Friday morning live streams all the way. We're also going to be doing stuff in the evening over on Twitch and Kick. Maybe not as much on YouTube, just because there's certain things I can't do on YouTube, just content wise. But we're definitely going to be keep things going here on YouTube. We're going to be doing stuff on Kick and Twitch. I also have some ideas for maybe some potential videos to be putting on out as well. And there are some big projects too. Listen, let's just put it out there. If you've ever thought that you might be good at a show like Big Brother, if you ever thought you'd be someone who could win in that kind of scenario, stick around, because there's going to be opportunities coming up, big opportunities, and big things that are going to be going on. Definitely keep around. Make sure you got those notifications on, because there's going to be a lot going on. Not just this weekend, because we have a lot this weekend with the finale, but also after the season. We're not gonna disappear as much as we have before. We're definitely gonna need a good break there. I'm telling you this for sure. I'm taking like a good week off. Next Friday would be like the next big thing after Sunday's finale. I think maybe we'll pop on Monday. But then we'll just a couple of days off. Late Ori, what I missed? Morgan won part 1, and we were just kind of breaking down some jury votes. This isn't a perfect jury scenario thing, because I think there's also a lot to go over with, like, the minutia of it, right? These are kind of like some of the best case scenarios for them. Because like the Vince and Ashley one, I think it's really dependent on who would win that final 3 HOH. Like if Ashley wins the final 3 HOH and cuts Morgan, I think Ashley could win that as well. Yeah, kind of just some jury scenarios. Morgan winning final part of HOH. It's the whole thing. You could do lives after Cowboys games. Man, plays it here. Nobody's gonna want to watch that. Nobody's gonna care about the Cowboys games. What happened to Celebrity Big Brother? So Celebrity Big Brother as well. I don't know what it's going to be this winter. Whether it's Celebrity Big Brother, Reindeer Games Season 2, Big Brother US versus the World, which is what I really hope for. I truly believe, like I have a strong suspicion that we will be getting a winter season of Big Brother, because the Winter Olympics are this year. So whenever they do the Olympics, they always like to combat that. So I think there's a high likelihood that we will get something in the winter for Big Brother. So keep an ear out for that too. Allison coming on in with the $5 super chat. Thank you for all your great recaps this season. Ori, thank you so much, Allison. I appreciate it. Rachel for America's favorite player. She got screwed. Keanu screwed himself. So doesn't deserve it. Thank you, Ori, for a great season of Friday Lives. Thank you, Kara. Something I always that always shocks me is the quality of their language during the feeds. The girls can outcuss the guys any days. Please, an all-winner season, potentially. What's hard about the all-winner season is like some of those early winners you just can't get back anymore. But they're definitely building a little bit of a pool again. Ori, just curious, where are you from? Sorry if you said that before. I'm from Philly. Go Birds. Go Birds. Lori, Ashley barely played the game. She showered and ate. Love the Reindeer Games. Perfect holiday gift. Would love BB Celebrity in the spring. Hyperfixation with the $2 super chat. Alyssa's Slater is being so annoying on X. Oh my goodness. Yes, she is. She's I don't know what is up with her, man. She has lost it. And like some of the, like, it's not even just about America's favorite player. Like some of the stuff she says is absolutely insane. Like it's insane. Like insulting to Brendan even. Like it's absolutely annoying and embarrassing, Laura. 100%. 100%. When to Villanova, go Pope. BBY2K versus post-COVID. Run it up. but that dog doesn't hurt. Funny that all three players of Showergate are in the final three. Well, Morgan wasn't really a big part of Showergate, was she? That was more Catherine, I think. Like, Morgan was a little bit a part of it, but I think that was a little bit more Catherine, no? Though I guess technically Vincent and Morgan have their own Showergate. They're all parts of Gates. Or you missed the perfect opportunity to quote Philly, Philly, where are you from? Winter Olympics in February. My wish might come true. If Ashley wins, the theme of the season is I don't cook, I just clean. Let me tell you how I got this ring. Par for the course. No, who is she? Bird gang, fly goes fly. GG with the $5 super chat. Your personality is amazing. That laugh is contagious. We love you, Ori. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought it was Catherine who was in it more. Yeah, Catherine took so much offense to it. Her exit, Ava was look at. Yeah, I think Kitty, I think Ava was really nervous. I think she wasn't doing good in front of the crowd. I think she was just overwhelmed. Because yeah, she was looking all over. She kept looking over her shoulder. I don't know. It's also a possibility that someone she knew was in the crowd. Sometimes family members will go even if like they know they're not gonna make it, right? Like, that's a possibility too, but I don't know. But it was definitely a thing I noticed, was her just kind of looking all over the place. Ori, what about a second season of BB Over the Top? So, Glenn, here's what I would do. If I was in charge of like Paramount and Big Brother, I would do the core Big Brother season every year during the summer. I would do a winter season every year. And then I would do a Big Brother Over the Top at like some point in the middle. Right? Maybe it's like where the which I don't even know if there is much of a good middle spot, right? But I would definitely do a winter season every year. I wouldn't wait for the Olympics. Because my thing is like I feel like Big Brother is such a huge valuable commodity to them right now in Paramount Plus. I put this tweet out actually just yesterday. I feel like right now, nothing gets paid more and makes more money in the streaming wars, right? Like Netflix, Paramount, Apple TV, Hulu, right? All that stuff, Disney Plus. Nothing makes more money for them than live content. Who's that coming on in? We had somebody coming on in. T-Town. That's T-Town Mary. T-Town Mary hitting that sub button. T-Town, me and you, we now have a secret alliance. T-Town Mary, don't you go telling nobody though. We have a secret alliance. We're going to the end, T-Town, but listen, if you hear anything about other alliances, not true. We're going to the end. Thank you so much for hitting that sub button. I appreciate it. So live content in the streaming wars is key, right? It's why you see all like the live sports, like the NFL, getting these huge deals with all different streaming sites. You'll even see all the other sports getting them out too. College sports is getting big into it. WWE getting these huge contracts with ESPN and Netflix, right? The one reality show that is in the same vein as that is Big Brother. And the big reason why live content works, right, is let's say, you put out this show, right? Let's say Paramount's got, Mobland. It's a really good show, actually. It's got Pierce Brosnan in it. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it, Mobland. It's a great show. Scripted show, though. If you pay a bunch of money, right, however much millions of dollars it costs to produce that show, people might watch it when it comes out. People might watch it a week later. People might watch it 6 weeks later. People might watch it 6 months later, 6 years later. So you don't get the extreme like return on investment on the scripted shows. Whereas live content, people are watching it in the moment, right? So you can kind of force the advertisements to them, and there's no getting away from it. And live content is what's making the money right now. What is very similar, the Big Brother live feeds. So I feel like what makes Big Brother different, what was its past of the live feeds, is also its future. And if they continue to invest in Big Brother, it will have good benefits for them. They just invested $7.7 billion in the UFC. And then they just put out that Big Brother was the second most watched thing on Paramount Plus all season. And that the numbers from last season were way up. Like everything was up like 27% on watch time and people watching the show on Paramount Plus and Pluto TV, watching the feeds. So it really secures that the feeds will be coming back. And I think it should show them that they should invest in the live feeds more and take the show more seriously and push the live feeds as a thing for Paramount Plus, because it's how they're going to end up making the most. Because the Big Brother live feeds are the show. And if they do it right, they could really do well. Like, really well. Just put 10 votes on for Keanu. Can't believe you're defending a man. I mean, like, listen. Like I said, I don't know if I ever defended him. I just said I understand what he's doing. He's the one making his own choices. BB Unlocked can kick rocks. I think it can work. It can work if done right. Also, Hyperfixation coming on in with the $2 super chat. Survivor versus Big Brother, half and half cast both shows. That would be interesting. Last season had higher highs but lower lows than this season. I agree with that, Gio. I agree with that. There were higher highs, but definitely lower lows. Like, Janky Week was terrible. The worst we had was the last, like, kind of 2 weeks with waiting for this whole, like, unique eviction with Keanu and stuff like that, and the Rachel stuff in jury. Other than that, everything else has been a lot of fun this season. Everything's been really good. I'm voting again today. You can vote every day. Yes, you can. Or did you ever apply for the show? I have. They, you know, they don't want me, and that's cool. They don't want me, and that's cool. Maybe when I'm, like, in the Jerry category, when I could be, like, the Jerry of the season, I'll reapply, and maybe they'll want me then. Also, I'll say this, though. Would it be, like, it would be... I would do it. I was about to say there, like, because of this, there's a chance, like, I almost wouldn't do it. But if they asked me, I would do it. I would do it. I couldn't say no. I'll be honest, it might not be worth it. like my percentage of winning and, like, where I'd probably be first boot. Like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'd probably be first boot. I need to be first boot or I'd win the whole thing. That would be... Or no, I need to be first boot or they'd pull the Rachel on me and they'd take me all the way to jury and then they'd boot me out first. I'd be first jury boot. That definitely hasn't happened to me in any other kind of game that I played before, and I was definitely not the first jury boot after I was called out multiple times. That definitely didn't happen, guys. There's definitely not going to be episodes of that eventually at some point on YouTube. I was told they're editing it now. I was told I would get a good edit. I told them to give me the Rachel edit. I said, make me look good. But that should be coming out at some point. But we'll see. Apply, Ori, always. It would be fun to watch. We would push America's favorite player for you, Ori. The Demi person would be a fresh take for a super fan. Even Ashley from the challenge. I'd love to see a season of BB content creators. The level of gaming would be top notch. DBE Fox, I'll tell you. it wouldn't even be. Listen, I would make some big moves. Listen, I would make some big moves. Because there's one thing that really needs to happen at the end of the day. There's just one thing that needs to happen. And once we did that, once we take care of the one thing that needs to happen, we can all just move on and we can have a good time. And I would happily lose if I make sure I did the one thing first. Y'all, if Ori does BB, we can see him without his hats. Honestly, going on could boost your channel. I watch Cliff every morning because he was on. And that's the thing, right? Like, it could be a boost there, too. So in the end, it'd probably be worth it no matter what to do it, right? But I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing. It definitely was one of those moments where it's like, maybe. Right, and like that's the like winning would be it, right? Like winning, coming in second place, even third place, right? Because third place gets a nice bonus. But yeah, I don't know. Is it worth it sometimes? The bigger thing, that's the bigger thing. Is it worth it sometimes? Because like I said, I give these house guests a lot of slack. Not every there wouldn't be a me out there for me. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down at this point now? There wouldn't be a me for me out there. But I've alluded to this before. I do have an idea and a plan. Because one of the questions was like, oh, Ori, if you ever went on Big Brother, what would you do with the channel? We need you for updates. I wouldn't leave you hanging. I would not leave you hanging. And let me just say, I would have an idea. And I don't know if it would, if I could pull it off. But I would have an idea that would be kind of wild and game changing. Like, it would be like you guys would be on the floor if you knew the full scope of this plan. Let me just say, if you ever see me on Big Brother, the me being on the show is only half of it, right? What would happen on this channel would be the other half of it. Let me just tell you that. Like the show would be one thing. Johnny, that ruins it. If I share it, it ruins it. I can't. But you would be literally mind blown. Like the things that would happen on this channel would be wild. And honestly, I think that would actually be the most fun part of it. More than anything else. I wouldn't even care if I was like a first boot. Just like that first week of content that you guys would get. The first week of content of the season. Oh my goodness. You would lose it. You would be losing your minds. It would be that would be the coolest part. But it will never happen. It'll never happen. Secrets don't make friends. But Ellen, guess who does make friends? Ori. You would have to stay out of jury. Live updates from the BB house every morning with Ori. That would be, honestly, T-Gold, that's how we could do it too, right? I would just get up earlier than everybody else in the house and it'd be like, what's up, internet? Me in the backyard. What's up, internet? My name's Ori. We're here in the Big Brother house. It's day number 5. So yesterday, so-and-so did this, and I couldn't believe it. I don't know if these two are working together, but I think they are. If you have a friend that was on BB, Ori, they could help talk to production. Keep trying. That much I don't think is that much of a possibility. But you know, that first part of that comment is interesting. It's interesting that you say that. America's favorite Big Brother player. This way we have we have who America wins. That would be awesome. Yeah, there's irons in the fire at all times. Ori's always up to something. Ori's always up to something. Ori walking the BB house with a camera in his contact lens, so we can see the house on his YouTube channel. Don't we have a final 2? You're supposed to share everything. I promise when the time comes, I will share. I will share. On another note, how suspicious is it that Rachel is the sole elimination victim? No vote, no blockbuster, no comp. A little, right? A little. Almost. Listen. Almost. Little conspiracy theory. Just little, tiny. Almost to the point that maybe Rachel was only supposed to go out first in jury. And maybe Rachel had it in her contract that she didn't have to stay the whole time and would still get paid a whole bunch. But also, I'm just saying, I don't believe that. I truly believe it was just like a random, like that's how it worked, right? Like that's just how the twist went, right? Because she just as easily could have been picked first, right? But maybe she doesn't finish it anyway, right? Maybe she doesn't finish it anyway. Where are you getting your info? Shh. I'll never tell. Exactly, Donnie. Everyone is out for blood. They all continue to talk. Is the fact that they can't wait to confront the players and call them out on their mistakes. It's nothing about the game. I'll tell you, it's going to be a rough time for these house guests getting on out. I think it's going to be some bitterness. I believe it's going to be a thing. I heard that 5th, 4th, and 3rd place finishers get bonuses. I believe so, yes. But it's not like a lot. It's just like a little bonus. It's nothing compared to finishing second. Like second's like a big chunk. And then obviously winning, right? But also keep in mind, like they're all getting like a decent amount just from their weekly stipend from making it to jury anyway. You get like a nice little winnings there. So it's not like too bad. Yeah, you know. Is it 100% worth your 3 months? Probably not. So if Rachel went first and burned the clock and then lost, what would have happened about the veto in HoH? Would it have been awarded to Ava? Well, yeah, so HoH, I guess, would have been awarded to Ava, right? Because it was whoever finished it in the fastest time, and if nobody would have finished it, right? That would have been weird. What did Rachel mean when the feeds cut? She said in her contract she would be in another location for jury and do segments for jury. When Rachel said that they cut feeds, it's possible like she's got her own little like private bungalow for jury or something like that. But I don't think it's likely. I think that's just her talking crap, you know. No one here is talking negatively about the contestants. We try, Cara. We try. We always try and give them, you know, a little bit of grace because it's rough in there. It's rough in there for them. Warps your whole mind. I don't like to judge them too hard. Just checked it out with the BB rules on CBS. Oh, what was that, Madeline? Third place doesn't win anything extra, just their weekly stipend unless they won money in competition. Well, the thing is, Matt, I think it's like one of those unwritten things. Like it's been talked about by like other past house guests that like you get like a little bonus on top of it. It's just like an extra little thing they get put in there, but it's not like promoted or anything like that. Like they don't push it as a thing. But I think it's like 10, 7.5, and then like 5 for third, fourth, and fifth. So it's not like a huge bonus, but like just that little bit, like a little bonus, little bump. And it's also a recent change. Like they didn't used to do this. I forget what season it was they even started doing it. It was fairly like recent, like recent. But yeah, I feel like they let Rachel talk to Brendan because she was talking about leaving jury, but then all of a sudden gives this amazing interview on BB. I also think that's possible too, Goose. I think that is possible. I think it is, and you know they probably were like, listen, we'll monitor the call. Don't you guys dare, and like we know. I think it's a possibility. I really do. You get the NCAA handshake for third. Yeah. Or you're right. They're talking about it on BB26. Private Bungalow. She's just a returnee. Is she playing as a player? They need to stop with the preferential behavior. I agree, Laura. I agree. Vince should have at least 50K so he can buy her 2 drinks when he loses the bets about Zach and Rachel having a power. Just so he can buy the 2 drinks. I think the guy just needs money. I think the guy just needs some money. Almost a second place minus 1,500. Cliff has talked about it. They're giving incentives to perform better placement. Exactly. It's just that little bit of a incentive, you know, that little bit of a sugar on top. Vince was happy that Zach left and got a stipend all this time with Morgan. I thought I heard Morgan told Ashley she gets 35K for third. So with the stipend, probably close. So you get a weekly stipend for every week you're there. I forget what it is now. I honestly don't know what the stipend is anymore. It used to be like $1,000, but now I think it's at least up to like $2,000. So you get that plus the bonus, right? So that probably is about right for third place. Now, winner and second place, they give up their stipend. Like they don't get that at all. They just get the prize money. But you get like money for just being there in the house in general, right? Like you're getting paid for being on the show. So 35 might be on the high end. If I had to guess, I would have said maybe like 25. I would have said it might have been closer to like 25 at the end once you added it all up. But again, like I don't know what the exact numbers are. Like these aren't released publicly. And like sometimes you'll get a thing. There's no way it's still 1,000. There's no chance it's still 1,000. Not a chance. I would say it's at least 15 to 2,000. At least now. Because it was that for way back. Like back in like the old school days. I remember they were saying Tucker wound up with more money than NJ. Well, I think he also won stuff too, though, right? Like he won like the extra stuff. So like yeah, he probably did. Yeah, with his America's Favorite Player, he probably did end up with more money than second place. Or though actually, I don't know. I think America's Favorite Player, you also end up giving up your stipend. But I'm not 100% sure on that. They should. If second place and first place have to give up the stipend, then they should too. Why was Rachel allowed all the big gowns, a couple of dressers to hang them in, when other house kids had one suitcase and a carry-on? Yeah, she had the whole shebang. It would be 10,000 for everyone. That's their and jury. Yeah, but I think it's higher than that. I had heard that it went up. I had heard it went up. Also, my alerts aren't working, but Anonymous coming on up, hitting the Uri Fund for 1337, saying thank you for all your videos this season. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for hitting up the Uri Fund. I appreciate you. The Instigator for 20K. Oh, that's right. He was the Instigator. That's right. He was the Instigator, and he got the extra money. Yeah. Donnie got more than Cody on 16. Really? Especially since they increased the prize. It's a good way to get more. Oh, what is this? We're just gonna find them and ban. Boom. See you later. Tucker mentioned that he got the stipend, the America's favorite player in the stipend, and the 20K from the Instigator. Dang. See, like, that's actually a deal, because second place, you don't get your stipend anymore. I'm like 99% sure on that one. At least I know first you don't. No, you have to give up your stipend. If you win first place, you don't get the money from being there every week. They consider that just part of the prize money. That's like 100% part of the thing. Because also then at that point, right? If you get to keep your stipend, how would anyone who didn't win second get beaten? It breaks up the entire arguments. It would not make any sense then. The only way would be when Tucker would have got more than MJ because of the Instigator thing or something like that. Or if somebody got like 10K in a veto thing. Yeah. Those are like really the only ways. But I don't know. The problem is they don't end up releasing it publicly, so you only go off like what like the players say, you know. And I'll be honest with you, I don't listen to many of the postseason stuff. Like once the season's over, I'm like, all right, see you later, guys. See you later. Tucker ended up having more money than Mackenzie. I see what Tucker means by run it up. Vinny needs to stop being a B and get a job. Oh no. How about a Big Brother podcaster shortened season? It could be a thing. It could be a thing. I feel like the stipend is given because they're getting paid for being actors on a show. They're on 3 times a week. It's not actors because you don't become part of like the Actors Guild or anything like that. But you're just getting paid because you're getting paid. It's how they do it. Vince will get a job after this. No way. Morgan leaves him for sure. Stipend is a little over 1K per week plus whatever they get to make it to jury. I still think it's more than 1K now. I think they upped it, but I don't know that 100% though. Could be a thing. Remember they took the money out of Kelly's stipend. Did they? They took money out of Kelly's stipend? Oh, actually, they will do that. I know they'll do that too. Like if you need like things like let's say like back in the day when people used to smoke a lot on the show. Like if you need cigarettes, like you better have brought as much cigarettes as you needed, or else they're not going to go get you some. And if they do, it's coming out of your stipend. It's like, yeah, all right, fine, we'll get you some, but like we're taking it out of your money. Like you're not getting paid this at the end. So like they'll do that sometimes, like if you really need something. Yeah, it's a thing. What I will say though, I think it might be time to wrap things up for the morning. I want to thank you guys all for hanging out, for the love, support from all the super chats, everybody hanging out in chat, from people hitting up the Uri Fund. You guys are all just so amazing. And I cannot thank you guys enough. We will be back here again tomorrow for another update. We'll have hopefully information on who won the second part of the HoH, as well as everything else that happened on the live feeds today. We're also going to be here for Sunday, which will be the finale. We will see the winner of Big Brother 27. We'll be here live for a watch party for that. Thank you guys all again so much for watching. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, if you made it all the way to the end of this stream, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Check out all the links to our socials in the pinned comment description down below. Check out the Discord. I'll put that up in chat once again. It's the best way to keep track of everything that's going on in the Ori universe. Thank you guys all again so much. I really cannot say it enough. You guys are amazing. What a wild ride it's been this season. And I will see you next time.
Without an arrow, you are useless. Like a bow. I've got it here in tears when it would have taken you years. And I'm not ashamed of myself. What you should be, but you should be. I've got it here in days when it would have taken you years. And I'm not ashamed of myself. What you should be, but you should be. You should be. You won't get any help from me anymore. You won't get